Hello, everybody. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. That's relatively clean. Hi, guys. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to the weekend. We got, let's see, a cat here. You look like you might want to come up in a little bit. Murloc, very good. Nothing simplifies outfit selection quite like putting on one big bag of felt. Love that. I am in love. I am warm, which is delightful. And I'm awake adjacent, which is good. We're working our way towards being awake. I don't know how it happened. I don't know what I did to my alarm, but I slept in today. I almost didn't make it. Normally I get up. If I stream at 9, normally I get up by like 8 at the latest, 20 to 8 more ideally, so I have time to like take Missy for a proper walk and like, you know, like actually take time to have breakfast and get ready and whatever. And I woke up today at like 8:40. I looked at my alarm clock and I'm like, oh, oops. All right. Toast, mouth, coffee. I made it. I think I did something wrong. It tastes a little funny, but what are you gonna do? If you let Moose sleep in the bed, he would wake you up. That is probably factually. Well, actually, he tends to sleep in too. He's usually in bed until you get him up. How did we earn a Murloc day? All hail. I'd say alarm clock, but I can't blame the technology. I'm the one who probably did something. I'm sure I like turned on an alarm or turned off an alarm or something like that. Hi, kitty. You want up? What do you think? We're nice and warm up here. Happy morning when I forget to set the alarm. Kigurumi's grossly underrated. You remember you predicted the Champions League? How you said it was only fun when you got it right. I think I read that I got it wrong. It was your day yesterday. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, someone believed in them, and it was not fate. I'm picking up dailies. I'm looking for game sound. Do you guys have game sound? Do I have game sound? Did I just turn it all off? Yeah, I think I turned it all off. Something like that. Yeah, let's just get into a little something. I tried to like farm a little bit on last night, and I didn't. My bronze and threads per hour were not great. I guess I don't know what a good bronze and threads per hour are because I just got these weak auras, but. Yeah, matching. We're matching Murloc onesies today. Although hers has the teeth, mine has no teeth. I guess I could switch it to the happy hood. I also mogged her weapon to be the water gun from the trading post. There's the toy, the weapon rack toy, but there's also just like a straight squirt gun for hunters. More stats. Yeah, I suppose more is more. There is something to that. I'm at 51,367 threads in my cloak. Let's get into like that queue and that queue. I'll do the heroics first. Weak aura seems useful. Yeah, I just googled on advice of chat remix thread weak aura and remix bronze weak aura with bacon as the other keyword because that is the author of these weak auras. Remember to pick up the daily. Yes, I'll go get the other one. That's the scenario one. I don't have a command for it yet, no. Okay, there we go. We're doing fine. Everything's alright. I picked up my yak first so that if I go to the Timeless Isle, we can actually use it to help get us to Ordos faster. Google it. Toy is fun too. Water fight for everyone. You default dress as a Murloc. When you run out of time, you just stay in costume. I think if I tried to sleep in this, I would die like a squeegee death. It would be moist. It would be way too hot. I'm warm right now, and it's like morning. I could crack the window. Hey, Sam, thank you for the 6-month resub. I have so many yaks in my mailbox. I have a number of them as well. I want to start getting through using them. Okay, I want to kind of try to let the tank pull, but also I don't think I'm as worried about it as I really should be to do my civic duty over here. There's Tiakfer in your mail. Is it even remix? I was crushing it in Mop this morning. Thought scenarios were too easy, so tried heroic. Did not end well. Heroic scenarios, heroic raid. I'm scared of heroic raids. They're still a big step up, even though they've been messing with it, but I think it's still like a pretty. I mean, you want to have something to work towards, but it is a project for sure. Scenarios. Mm-hmm. There was when I was a fresh 70, there was one I like couldn't finish, and we tried with all our might. if the other people are also fresh 70s, it can be rough. Heroic throwing a thunder last night. Some of the bosses pretty tough. I've been doing heroic Mogu while leveling. Seems great. There you go. I never even thought to try it while level. My goodness. Let's sit like this. See if we can get some coffee in. I'm excited to kind of do my regular round and routine of dailies today with the thread and the bronze tracker up to kind of see what the per hour shakes out to be, at least as long as I have dailies to do. How much? These were a gift. They were originally from the Blizzard gear store. I think I later bought a purple pair or a blue pair that I didn't end up hanging on to. I don't remember how much they charged for them. Probably over 100 US. These things run pretty. They're a bit spendy. Mine cost around that. Yeah. Yeah, not wildly cheap. Focusing on only one character or leveling alts. I've kind of become a single character main. I didn't see that coming. I really thought I was going to be more alt focused, but until I feel like I've I guess completed this character and then maybe farm some stuff on it at full gear levels, I don't think I'm really ready to put her down yet, because she's strong now, but she could be stronger later. I'm still getting absolutely smoked by a level 20 holy priest, as are we all. Whoa. I think I just ran into some trash that we had not pulled yet. How many threats? I have 51,475. Doesn't it also mean my priest died? Your priest? What do you mean? Oh, I will never not see the angel as my priest died, even though it hasn't been true for years. It's still true. That's still totally mechanic. I think I forgot that our tank was back there, and I've just been auto running forward. I mean, I guess if it works, it works. Little 8 characters, now trying to choose one to get stronger. What is the item level on the hunter today? We are starting at 388, which is a flat 416 on the upgradable pieces across the board. I want to try and get all of them up one complete round. Would be pretty nice. Don't they have an angel on command button, or is that a PvP thing? I think it's a PvP thing where you can just kind of do it. And I don't even know how that works specifically. Oh, we're farming. We're farming. Oh, see you later, kitty cat. Meteor doing its thing. Oh yeah, I still have Meteor store on. Where'd our streamer go? There's just a murloc sitting in a chair. I feel like a murloc would do a quite good job of running my stream. It's a pretty straightforward proposition.
Interrupt.
Alright. It's not the fastest heroic dungeon I've ever done, but it also wasn't bad. Pop into this one. Have you seen them try to cook? I don't know about that. Yeah, we haven't cooked on this stream in years. Years. Alright. We're allowed to pull whatever we want because of the scenario, so off and away. Let's see if we can maybe use a little more I don't think I bestial wrapped more than like maybe one time in that dungeon. Let's use like a cooldown or two, and maybe a little bit more kill command. Stream title could remurgle. That's a pretty good one. I don't even think I'm taking damage from the enemies. I think I'm just stepping on traps. If there's one thing about Remix, I wouldn't say I don't like it, because that makes it sound like I wish they would change it. I just don't like it because I'm not good at it. It's just floor traps. The ones that are very obviously printed on the tiles. Literally the death of me. Aloha, friends. Hopefully you're well. Are the trials in Remix? Are the trials in Remix? I don't follow. My apologies. The old noodle's not really firing up properly this morning. Proving grounds. Was that even? I guess it was mop. I'm gonna say probably. I'm gonna say that I don't know, because that's the truth. I do not know. Oh, they hurt even at max level. Did this dungeon earlier to tame the stonehounds? Oh, I didn't know you could tame the stonehounds. That's cool. Get bronze for the achievement. Very good. Triggered defensive CD. I was still gonna tame one more. Oh yeah, that's right. I wanted a Mushin. I should look for one sometime to use as a frosty pet instead of the cat. Hey.
Interrupt.
It's been kind of neat playing Remix and going from being like I've never seen this scenario before in my life, or if I have, I've utterly forgotten it, to oh man, you know, like it's this one. Then the end guy is gonna do the big death cast, and then you gotta run away, but not in the direction of the fence because you're gonna get stuck. It's it just feels a tiny bit like a new expansion, like we're learning. Gone in a poor direction. Need to do Siege of Throne before any other raids if I want to get those ones done. Oh, just because they're so, yeah, long and difficult to motivate oneself to do. At first I felt bad not knowing what to do in scenarios. Now I just roll with it, run around like a chicken. Taxing, yeah. Yeah, I feel that. It's curious to me that of those two, I am more likely, even though I find it to be very long and taxing, I'm way more likely to do Siege than Throne. And I think it's just because the entrance is closer. Even though I know people summon, I think it's because the entrance is closer, and then maybe a tiny bit because the bone is like a... Getting like a bone of Manaroth is a bit of a motivator. Throne feels substantially harder.
Run.
I remember when that happened to me. Happy to go in and smash Heroic Siege. Heroic Road is a hard pass. 10k per hour seems good. Yeah, I'm always suspicious when they're just running the math numbers based off of like a short period of time. Sometimes you've done something that you can't keep up all day. Like dailies. Speaking of, we've done... now we need to do normal. So let's do a normal dungeon group. And a normal scenario group. Turn in these things. See if we have enough bronze to upgrade our weapon, maybe. We like doing that early. What are we saying? 7,000? Not quite gonna do it. Heroic Dark Animus last night took like 10 plus pulls. Oh no, super chaotic. Something about progressing on a mop raid in like the overpowered speedrun mode. Just, I don't think it's gonna work for me. Went into normal without doing all the wings. Wasn't great. As long as you have some frog people in there, it's okay. At this point in the game, I think there are absolutely people that have got fully upgraded gear that never touched frogs. It's very much possible if you have been gaming a lot. In the meantime, I was gonna head to... I'm in a dungeon queue, so I don't want to join a group yet. I think this is the part where I start working on world bosses. Cute get up, love it. Thanks. Is it the boats? It's not the boats. It's something else. The normal one should be pretty fast, though. Can you cosplay an early mop remix track? No. I am... Hang on. Let me turn my name on. I am... Smelly Squidgy. Wait, hang on. there's an end to that. There's more. My name. Smelly Squidgy of the Frog Safety Team. We are working for the preservation and health and longevity of frog populations Azeroth-wide. Good morning, Hazel and chat. Lurking today. Wanted to say hello. Hello. Of the frogulation. Frogulations are the frog protection regulations that we are campaigning to have passed out. Amphibians. I should really tame like a mascot pet. Maybe next time I'm at the Timeless House. Wouldn't frogs eat your pets? I mean, that's never stopped me from having a tiger. That's huge. I don't know if I've done this scenario. I saw boats and I was expecting to be battle on the high seas, but this isn't. This is something else. I think because some of them seem to be faction specific, that's kind of leading me to, like, I wouldn't have run into this on Shellfish if this really is an Alliance only one. That's reasonable. It's nice when the trash comes to you. Quit remix a couple days ago. Max character, bought all the mounts, did every zone, bought all the special class outfits. Never touched frogs. Frog preservation regulation for the frog population is what I wanted to post when you said it, but my brain couldn't work it out until now. Yeah, my thinker's not fully running. I don't know if I'm just not awake yet or if it's just one of those days. It's normally fine to not really have much to say and to just be kind of quietly going about your business, unless you're trying to run a stream, and then it's awkward. It's tough to just sit here quietly playing your video game with nothing to say when the whole premise of the situation is that you're supposed to have something to say. Rainy Sunday, brain fuzzy. Still in dungeon queue? Still in dungeon queue. Very good. Pretty close to being able to get my bow upgraded. Oh, I could go get my bow upgraded. Oh, sure, why not? That'll help. Any plans for June? Farmers markets are out. Plans June. No. I don't think I ever make plans. It's a bit depressing. It's my birthday month. Happy early birthday. I need to remember I'm in a scenario, not a dungeon. I probably shouldn't just go ahead and pull everything. Reverse that. Oh. About to get back into WoW. Can you sell me a mop remix? Like WoW, but faster. Play game, get power. Be strong, run around, mop nostalgia. I'm all out of pitches this morning. Cosmetics, yep, true. Many mounts. Backpack with chicken on it. Chance at Tusks of Manarov. On a vendor. That's a big deal for a lot of people. Cool hat. Am I going the wrong way? Yeah. Sure am. Any thoughts on the long game of things like Remix? Will it influence the main game or just one more in a long line of one-off content breaks? I think it's just a filler thing they can bust out for content breaks. I don't think it's going to have a... I can't see it having like a big impact on the actual main game. Because I think that a lot of the things that make Remix work kind of fall apart if you try to project it onto a long term. It's kind of like Candy. I feel like it's fun in the short term because they let you be so broken, but because they let you be so broken, in a couple of months, like right around when they're gonna end it, it's just gonna be, it's silly. It's not gonna, I don't know. I don't think it has I don't think it would have long-term life. I think it's fun because it's temporary. I hope they bring the Windweaver effect of no fall damage into live, but just when you're not flagged as in combat. I do endorse Blizz doing other remixes. I'm gonna miss having Slight, so satisfying in Raid. What is this ranking worst elevators in the game? Worst elevators in the game. I think the worst elevator in the game was Undercity because you had to do it all the time.
Watch your step.
Yeah, you had to do it all the time. Plus, it was a great source of anxiety during hardcore when if you messed up the elevator and fell to your death, that was literally the end of you. Hilarious, but stressful. The best elevator in the game is whatever that one raid elevator was that actually like crushed people to death if they were underneath it when it came down. That was so funny. Regretted making an Undead in Classic. And Taurus, yeah. And it still works too if you're like back in there farming it for transmog. It still absolutely works. Let me out of there. I'm going. I was built for this. Done with gear upgrades? Oh, not even close. I'm only at a level 388. People get to 476 before they're kept. People mounting up too early before heading to Farak and falling like a rock to their death. I've done that like recently. I think the week before last I did that because I didn't even know it was possible. And I was miffed. I was upset. I was trying to parse what kind of a sound that would be, and I was coming up with like cat noises for a while, but I think I understand what you mean. Do you know how raids work the coming weeks? Can you do all 3 in 1 week, or do you pick one and saved? In Remix? If we're talking about Remix, raids are daily in Remix. Even now and in the next coming weeks. Retail. That's a great question. I'm assuming you can do all 3 if you want. Yeah, I don't see any reason why you would be prohibited from doing the other 2 because you did one of them first. Someone up there on the weak spot? Maybe I'll head up. Oh no, we're good. Cannon broke? Out of fuel. Can't propel tiny squidgy. Was this a mythic boss yet? I don't think so. Alright, there we go. That's all you have to do. Cannot wait to play Shadow Priest and War Within. The Arcane Mage rework also looks spicy. Can I Mog It? Is that add-on that adds blue checkmarks to items and vendors. The checkmark means that I've learned that item already. It's always been a thing it's been a thing for a long time for transmog, but they've recently added mount and pet capability to it. Hi, am I in queue or am I all done? I might be all done. I did a snare, I did a dungeon. Oh yeah, I was gonna go upgrade my weapon, that's right. So I just need to do some raid bosses for the raid daily. Let's dump 9k bronze into my bow real quick. Yeah, so I've upgraded 27 of 36 times. So if I'm doing one of these a day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like a week and a half left for me to get it the rest of the way. Maybe a week if we assume that I start earning more bronze per day at a certain point. Before, like another week before I'm like fully updated in Remix. What was your favorite dragon riding skin and customization? Ooh, maybe Elementium Drake. Like the Sarkareth Drake was pretty good. I also kind of liked Infinite Scales. I wore those a lot. Those were really good. Elementium Drake's real hard to beat. I like riding an Infinite Drake around Remix just because it feels appropriate to the whole time running aspect of it. The world bosses I do not so much for bronze, mainly for threads. But threads are important. They help. They definitely help. Can't fall behind on those. I feel like I'm not going to find a group for this. I might just have to wait for it to come up. We'll see. Anger. All caps. Time River will be pretty awesome once they incorporate dragon riding for all males. Oh yeah, I had some notions about doing Terrace of Endless Spring. I didn't do it though. Sometimes I'll farm mobs around here while I'm waiting, but sometimes I like overdo it and then I miss the spawn, especially if people kill Shaw really fast. I have the Murloc onesie, my remix character. Twinsies. I'm enjoying the squirt gun. I'm not usually a gun mogging kind of hunter, but look at it. I guess actually it's probably Hailstorm and Cold Front and whatever that's doing those animations. For a moment I'm like, look, it's firing water. Kind of looks like it anyway. It's got custom animations using the water gun as well. Makes it fun to use a gun instead of a bow for once. It is kind of violent to imagine that you're shooting somebody with a water gun to death. Like they like explode. Like that's some high water pressure. I suppose they're also getting bitten by a tiger, so nothing. We never said this was a humane way to go. I'm just kind of waiting for Shaw to come up. But it is kind of satisfying that you're getting greens and you're getting threads. It is like I've kind of come around in open world farming a bit. I haven't found any really good ones. And I don't really want to do anything where there's like other people that you're competing with for spawns and whatnot, but that's not for anger. What about over here? Did this say the knuckle thump? Oh, it's the hole. I thought it was the hotel for a moment. I would visit the Knuckle Thump Hotel. Nymeria Sep, thank you for the 20-month resub. Appreciate it. You don't have a male Draenei Hunter since they have the best gun animations. I know they have phenomenal crossbow animations because they like spin the whole crossbow. They do a little flip with it. Here goes. Thank you for the 43-month resub. It's worth doing the full campaign in at least 1-2. Not sure if that's still meta. It is not a bad thing to do. It's not mandatory. You're going to get bronze caches for doing it. You're going to get a decent amount of bronze and threads just for doing all of that questing and killing all of those mobs in the first place. And it will count towards the different meta achievements that give you specific zone cosmetics. But you don't have to do them to get those meta achievements. A lot of those meta achievements have other options that are faster than the campaign in order to get them. And if you want, you can do all the campaigns on each character and like re-earn all of that bronze. It's just a question of if it's faster than the other stuff that you feel like doing at endgame. I'd say if you have the gear and the stamina to be like running heroic raids all the time, that's probably going to be faster bronze than most other things if they're going quickly. But if oh, somebody did list a shopping group. Whoa, look at all the applicants. Alright, I've tagged it. I'm not gonna try and parse here. What do we get from our spool? Great. We like that. Linda, thank you for the 8-month resub. We're going dinosaurs, I think. Also, it looks like I can make another legendary mastery gem. Oh, I have legendary mastery gems in. Are all my haste gems meant legendary? They are. What about my crit gems? Jeez. I wonder if there's any point to farming on the Isle of Giants, the dinosaurs. If it's good for anything other than just Yundasta. I've just been running up there every day for the single legendary spool. I ended up with an extra... Did I not put all my gems back in? I have so many haste gems. I feel like I have too much haste. I must be... I guess I can't. Maybe I don't have too much haste. Because I still have blue crit gems on. Although now I have an extra spot that I could do like a purple crit or an epic legendary crit gem. So like if I do that, and then I guess we take like a Versa off to put crit back up, that might be good. I think I have all legendary gems in now. That's not true. I've still got some regular crits and one regular mastery. What is this chipped mastery gem? How does that happen to me? I was taking mastery gems out and hang on. I'm taking all my gems out. It's my own fault for using Narcissus for prismatic gem management. I really should be doing these manually at this point in my life, but... Excuse me? I figured it would pop out the smallest available gem. I don't know. I guess I don't know why I assumed that. I was just hoping, I suppose. Alright, we're popping out all of our gem slots. And then let's organize up our gems. Combine a couple of extras here. Get as many of these legendaries as we can. Although, I don't know if I'm too fussed about the versatility ones at this point. Okay, I have... Let's put in... let's do it manually. So, legs are getting... haste. Chest is getting crit. And I'm just because those are good stats for me, and because these slots are going to be higher item level than the jewelry slots, so they're presumably going to give you more of those secondaries than the jewelry slots. So now that we're into jewelry, let's do the rest of our haste and crit gems first, and then we'll start popping in mastery and verse. But I want only legendary gems because I have enough now. As long as we're getting haste. Here's mastery, or crit, and then we can get into mastery. And I think I'm gonna end up with one trinket that's got like a couple of Versa gems on it. Just to balance me out a little bit. Alright. That's better. I can't believe I was wearing a green gem. I don't think that's the thing that was standing in between me and greatness or anything like that, but my goodness. Have the same reaction. Be smart, software. Your gear will not turn blue when you upgrade it, but I upgraded my greens anyways, and then when I got blues in those slots that I wanted to wear instead, catching them up to the level that you upgraded your green to is only going to cost you 5% of the bronze. So you could wait for blue gear to drop, and that would technically save you some bronze, but the amount I found to be negligible, so I just did it anyway. Ooh. I mean, Doomguard, very strong single target damage, like uber strong. Can you show us the mug? Yeah. Yeah, let me just make sure I tag Gundasta here. Alright. Is very shiny. Says Tim Hortons on it. And it has had Tim Hortons coffee in it approximately one time when I first got it. It's been a vessel for Starbucks more or less ever since. Where's Murloc mug? Murloc mug's too big for my morning coffee. Murloc mug is an afternoon tea kind of mug. It does match though. Good morning, Hazel. Good morning, Jans. Did it happen? Have you moved? Is it true? We missed you last week at Raid. Could it be the case? It happened? People were joking that that you were just gonna move one box that day and then you were gonna move another one the following week. And we were never gonna see you in Raid again. Typing from my new room. Oh, that's so exciting. I wasn't sure Murloc mug was still kicking. I kept one of them. I couldn't bring myself to keep more than that because they had such a big footprint. Like, they take up half of your mug shelf, and I wasn't willing to... I just, you know, you got limited shelf space in your life. But I had to keep at least one. He did it! Does the jewelry ever change an item level? No, it doesn't. And it's a little bit strange that it doesn't. Feels a little funky. I don't even have water on my desk. What am I doing? I need a water bottle. Hang on. What time is it? It's 9:51. This isn't a real break. This doesn't count. Okay, I think the water bottle's elsewhere, but I found a cup. I did spend some bronze this session. I dumped 9k into my weapon. And that's exactly what happened. So we got more world bosses to do, but I feel like I should get into, I feel like I should do a terrace if I'm gonna. I'm hesitant to do heroic terrace because I don't want to have to learn any mechanics. And I feel like the day will come when I'm ready to like upgrade my rotation to heroics, but the day's just not quite yet. Besides, when I'm in a normal terrace, I can feel like I'm helping. Isn't it inconvenient to sit on the tail? A little bit, yeah. The suit is big enough that you can fold it to the side so it's not right underneath you, but it is a little bit inconvenient. Mindflay feels a lot better to run Remix compared to Mindspike. You can actually use it before things melt. Nice. I've been kind of enjoying, one thing I've been kind of liking about Remix is being able to show up to a raid and not have to run through like a consumes checklist. You know, like, if I pop a draft of power or, like, maybe a couple of scrolls, that's great. And if I don't, it's also fine. Like, I'm not looking for where's my rune and my flask and my food and, you know, I guess it's not that many things, but... Especially because they don't cost me any gold either. I don't feel like I'm sinking gold into being able to show up. And I wonder if murlocs have chairs in-game. I wonder if we're waiting for more people, because if we are, I wonder if I can get away with using... Aw, man, I can't put down my colorful beach chair in a raid instance. June ruined. I wanted to sit in my rainbow chair. Can I put down my extreme water blaster display? This is terrible. I mean, it's not terrible. It means that I can water blast, but... Do you think they would get mad that I'm spraying them? You're wet. And you're wet. I don't know these people. I also can't sit in the chair. And you're good. Oh, I'm pacified. I need to take off my water gun. There we go. I should probably keep my lust pet out just so I can lust bosses. There is a mage, but I feel like I need 3 or 4 lustable people in a raid before I assume that one of them's gonna actually press it. Myself included. That's quite a question. I think we're assuming a lot of things that I don't know if I'm on board. I think your train is a few stations ahead of mine. I don't know. I don't know, man. Good day, y'all. Holy Murloc costume Batman. Murloc man, ma'am. I'm matching. Squidgy and I are matching. Although she has a water gun and I don't. Oh man, I'm only 10 animal levels away from 400, which is when I officially feel like I'm gonna start feeling good. Pen heroics. Yeah. Yeah, maybe tomorrow is the day that I start doing heroics instead of normals. Not that I even did all my normals yesterday. I wonder who they want second. I hope they marked somebody. Because I'm just guessing. Oh, they marked the other guy. Okay. Oh, we're almost doing it. I mean, I know we're kind of cheating because we're cleaving a little bit. But we're almost doing 1,000,000 damage. We're not quite. I think we're pretty stuck at... Ow. That's not going to help. We're pretty stuck at 900k. It was the gem standing between you and greatness after all. It feels silly for me to like quibble over a gem when you do like a world boss, use a legendary spool, and then you have like an extra 180 crit or haste or whatever. It's like putting an extra gem on permanently. That's alright. It'll do. Friend to the frogs. I got my purple gear out of heroic grade. It drops pretty readily there. You can get it rarely out of other stuff and at endgame, but that's the easiest place to pick up a bunch of it. I won't have my meta gem up, but that's okay. Thought it would drop purpley, not readily. You get it. Oh dear. I wonder if I can use any more of these guys. Chaos. Oh, Fortitude Scroll. Hi. Oh, I turned it off. Oops. I'm terrible for doing that. I turned my Funeral Pyre off. I would say more important than getting epics is finding blue pieces that have good stats for you. Like I had a few epics drop that I didn't even put on instead of my blues because my blue had like crit and the epic had like avoidance. You want the stats to be good. Oh man. I just noticed that there's one tank and no healers in this raid. There we go. Those are the threads we wanted. We have mostly 476 raid, all DPS, no tanks, no heals. I suppose I'll lust, but Lei Shi kind of makes you question why you're bothering. You just get so much kill command. I'm just gonna save my meta gem for the next boss at this point. Should have saved Bestial Wrath for the next boss. And the last boss. Doing her upgrade since like 360. I wanna... Like, I did one around then as well. Maybe even a little bit lower. I just felt bad being so squishy in it. I didn't like feeling like I was just blowing up to any time there was raid damage. Like, I died at most of the fights. I want to feel like I'm actually doing something. Thanks for starting to post the VODs on YouTube. Make sure to watch them all. Yeah, I get to catch Hazel live. Aw. Oh, shucks. I think I need to catch up. I think I've missed posting a couple. should use a different metagem for when bosses don't live longer than a minute. You know, if Funeral Pyre doesn't have time to stack all the way up, what's the point? Thanks. I just got my homies to carry me. No shame. I don't think there's any shame in that. I think I'm just spoiled. I think I just want to feel important. Lifestorm's the most commonly used burst metagem now. Yeah. Yeah, there's probably something to that. What if I stand in other people's Lifestorms and then I don't have to do it? There is a Bankin remix. It's in Shrine. Shrine of the 2 moons or 7 stars, depending on if you're Horde or Alliance, but it'll be up there. Alright, we can turn in the raid weekly. And then maybe look towards a few more world bosses. Legendary Spool. Agi. Yeah. I'm up to 53k threads now. And the nice thing about having decided that I like all of my gear is that I've just been straight dumping everything into the scrapper. I don't even really check it much anymore. I think I have either crit or haste on basically all of my pieces, so it's good enough for me. Okay, so if my bow is done, do I want to do my helmet? It would improve my funeral pyre. Oh, I'm dumb. The Yagi is flat. It's just the damage that stacks up. Alright, never mind. I'm happy. Everything's fine. Yeah, it just gives you flat main stat, and every 1 second you gain a stack of damage. But it doesn't look like the main stat itself actually ramps up. I think I was misinterpreting it. Okay, so if I did Undasta, I guess I'm heading to Throne of Thunder, or Isle of Thunder for Nalek. That sounds reasonable. I do kind of want to do more raids today. Do I want to, like, mix them up? Maybe do a raid along the way? I don't know. I don't know if I want to do Throne of Thunder. There's a rug in the Horde Bank that flashes in and out of existence. It annoys me every time I go in there. Oh, hang on. There's a rare. Oh, he's in that cave. I know you can blink in there, but I'm not going to worry about it. I hope you feel better, Saga. Okay. Plus, we can do our Trove of the Thunder King. But all my achieves besides Heroic Clear so far, Remix has been a blast. It definitely feels like I'm not going to need the entire duration of the event to do everything I want to do. I feel like I need 1 more week to gear up, and then probably a week after that to, like, buy everything that I want. And then the only thing that could keep me lingering longer than that would be if I really want tusks and I don't have the bones for it yet, which seems kind of likely. Cute. Get my key. Oh, this is a great time to use my yak. Although, why did I think it was going to be faster than this? I'm not saying the yak isn't fast, but like, I don't know. I guess there's lots of charges of it. I could just use another one if I wanted. It is huge, yeah. I have a bunch of them in my mail. I feel like whenever I'm on Isle of Thunder or Timeless Isle, I'm just going to start using them to get around. But I also kind of thought it was going to be faster than this. I thought it was going to be like hard to steer. It was going so fast. So I don't see Nalika. But we will. Looks like there's a bunch of people waiting, which sometimes is a good sign. But there's nothing I can like farm in the meantime for this one. I want to run around and, you know, do something while I'm waiting. You gotta stack yak for max speed. Runs faster than me and my Rumix Havoc DH, who runs at 160% speed. I need to turn on, I bet you if I turn on Deja character stats, I can find out how fast Squidgy can actually go. Let's see, Squidgy wants character stats. How much is fluff and how much is beef? I don't know if they fixed tusks yet. They might have done. I know they were going to. Yeah, I think I wouldn't be able to make it back in time. It's a cool outfit. Okay, I'm entertained. There is a way to hack the yak stack? I don't even know if that's true. I think you're just saying it because it rhymes. I was gonna do something. Oh yeah, I was gonna see I was summoning a Huey so I can find out. Alright, my movement speed is 204% run speed. That is double Trailblazer plus Pathfinding. I knew I was fast. Maybe that's why the yak doesn't feel that fast, is because I'm running at literally fast mount speed all the time as long as I'm not in combat. That's so dumb. I think I might be slower in a mount. I've been suspecting that. No, mount speed is 210. So I get 6% faster if I mount up. That's so funny. For ground, anyway. But then, of course, if I'm mounted up, then I can't be doing things like disengaging, too. Which puts me up to 254% for a hot second. Or, you know, heaven forbid we aspect of the cheetah. I don't want to use it because it's a cooldown, but... Is that 6% worth the cast time? I don't know if it is. Do they mean it? Is Nalik really up? Oh yeah, there we go. Oh no, I'm pacified. The extreme water blaster! No! I didn't tag it. Alright, this is your water blaster PSA. Beware using them while waiting for bosses. Oh no. Sad trumpet. It'll be up on this shard soon. People are like waiting and stuff. I'm putting out my own beach chair. Although, watch me get stuck in that and be like unable. Okay, you can just run out of it. Good. Watch me get stuck in the beach chair and be unable to, This is me at a party, by the way. Comfy chair sitting on the very edge of it, hands on my knees. Yep. Griefed by water gun. These are Weakoras, and then this is Narcissus that can check threads. Both of them can do it. Surface trot. That is water walking. It's an on-demand water walking buff that the Strider can give you. I actually didn't know that. I've been swimming. Oh, there he is. Okay, we've tagged it this time. Oh, dear.
Run out.
Oh, I was about to leave group, but I wasn't in a group. Yak away! I think it's a 15-minute spawn. Something like that. Maybe they nudged it up. That would be kind of cool. Is this a rare that I can tag and fight? It is. Did I do it? No. Never mind. Don't mind me and my yak. I don't even know if I have the Isle of Thunder's rare achievement. I might not. I have looking for group Isle of Thunder. Do I have elusive foes for it? Probably not. No, I don't. I have none of them killed. That could have been one of them, but yeah, well. Not fast enough. Alright, no thinking, only action. Off and away. I think the thing that I need to make sure I'm working on this time is actually oh, that's gonna disorient me. The fire disorients me. It does it every time. I was trying to like pop it and then walk off the thing. Oh well. The thing I need to work on this time is I forget. Never mind. Can't be that important. Oh, watching the levers to make sure that they've actually gone. That I've actually flipped them. And I haven't just like felt like I flipped them. These are just the baby ones. And then I'm gonna give a wider berth to the red things because sometimes I get in trouble with those.
Kill Big Ad.
Okay. It's this one that I get stuck on all the time. Alright, the switch actually flipped. I'm not even gonna try and jump up there anymore. I'm embarrassing myself. Okay. We have 3 minutes left. We need to go left first to do the lever. Plus any chests. Can I tell my pet to like move too? Can you do that anymore? I'm sure you can. Actually, am I sure you can? I don't know. Used to be able to. I had some notion about doing it for to trigger the red thing automatically. So we have 3 minutes left. We do have some time, but I don't wanna get too confident and run out here. Not when I've run out before. of want to loot as much as we can. Never mad at ritual stones if I can get them. Because we have another minute left. You could do this with like a door of shadows to just get up on those walls really easily, but then you wouldn't have, I wouldn't have like my double trailblazer that I like so much.
Ten.
I think that's about all she wrote.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You could have door shadows and another piece of gear. Oh. Yeah, maybe in the future. I'm pretty happy with that though. We got a good handful of spools. Plus a couple of ritual stones. I'm gonna save those. And some bronze. Landfall question's really something. Music is so dramatic, I'm scared. Okay, take me out of here. So I need to make sure I remember to do the rest of the world bosses and don't get too distracted, but like, do I feel brave enough? I'm sure I do. What if I'm just looking for a normal? I haven't done a normal since I got my neck. I've done it exactly one time for my neck, and that was it. That was the beginning and end of it. I wish double jump was a cogwheel gem. Haven't begun collecting spools yet. I'm a pre-spooler. Oh man, I forgot that Deja character stats was going to give me decimal places for my item level. Whenever I see Throne of Thunder on Looking for Group, I always get hungry for tater tots. Made a horde in an alliance just so I could do both the Dominance Point and Landfall and Maw. I've started to make a habit of always flying over Dominance Point just because the rares are almost always up. And it's just like an easy little batch of threads to just swing through and kill all three of them. I wonder how long this will take. I guess I could find out. Something must have reset my bronze this session, because we've certainly earned more than 795 today. I'm using a weak aura. I've got a... I grabbed a weak aura to track bronze. I don't have a link to it right now. Someone setting up a summoning scroll? Yeah. I'm at level 391. I've been chipping away at it every day. There's a shaman and a mage. I wonder if I can get away with having a... like a health pet or something. I guess it's just normal. It's not even heroic. I shouldn't be too worried about randomly dying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh yeah, this is a big raid. I kind of forgot. You get used to Mogushan Vault being all cute and short. Throne's a decent sized one. I guess it'll be good bronze. I hope it'll be good bronze. Throne and Siege are commitments. Yeah. Yeah, I've been salvaging speed armor and leech gems. I'm about to start salvaging Versa gems. I've got extra legendary ones sitting around that I don't even have room for, so I don't think I need any more of them. You're now in a partnership with Throne. This is your life now. I just have to believe that it's gonna go nice and smooth. One boss raid's like an Ixia. We had a 2-boss raid in BFA. Hold those Versa gems. Okay. Charit4, thank you very much for the brand new sub. Not like she'll right click anything before the raid is ready, right? Oh, my pets are not caught up. Alright, so there's a demon hunter that's around my item level, and it looks like we're the carries. I guess once you get to around 400, you lose a lot of geared people out of normals because they start doing heroics instead. So there's this little gap where you're kind of this item level where you can feel kind of like a big person in a normal, just because all of the people that are like really geared are not in normals. They're doing heroics instead. With a squidgy carry, how could it not? You're huge. It's like going in a little splashing pool and then being like, man, this water's up to my ankles. I don't have my meta gym up right now. Whoa! Never mind. There's a 47600. They just weren't doing trash. I'm not the carry. It's them. Oh well. That's somebody who's fully geared. What do they have for their cloak? They have 90k stam, 12k agi. I'm sitting over here on 20k stam and 5k agi. Holy smokeroonies. That's who I want to be when I grow up. Yeah, your Trailblazer cogwheel absolutely stacks with your Trailblazer talent. That's what I'm doing. good news is with at least one fully geared carry in here, this is going to be quite fast. Should be reasonable for bronze. It's not going to be cheap to get my whole set upgraded. Oh wow, they have like full Versa gems for marks. They have 2 mastery gems and the rest of their slots are full Versa. Do you find yourself running out of stamina farming the raids? No, I got 1.7 mil health now. No, I'm pretty content. I think I'm a little extra antsy because I'm streaming, so I feel like I need something to be happening. I'm pretty chill. Oh, or done time. Alright. Got our meta gem up for this one. Yeah, the smaller ones are a lot easier to stomach than Siege or Throne. But my desire for progress is starting to outweigh my impatience. And having this data to kind of quantify how fast my farming is going, like outdoors or questing versus in raid, is leaning me towards raid a little bit. I think outdoor farming is absolutely faster if you're good at farming, but if you're just kind of whatever at it, you're probably better off getting into raids and hoping there's people in there that can like solo it. Once you get that many secondaries, your Versa seems to be worth more. Seen a couple classes go pure Versa at max level. Is that why you're trying to buy my Versa gems? Maybe I'm gonna hold on to them. You shouldn't have told me that. Yeah, and I think as time goes on, the groups are just gonna get stronger and stronger because more and more people will be fully set up. You could say that maybe some people will get fully set up and then fall off, like they're done and they're not in raids anymore, but I think there's gonna be people that want to show off. It's too much fun. Yeah, I think that's that concern that eventually there would not be enough people to run the raids reliably is probably something that's going to happen. And I think that's fine because it's a limited time event. It's not a problem if it falls off at a certain point because it's only going to exist for so long in the first place. And if anything, that limited availability is going to help keep more people stay in it while it's up. You're going to get people that are kind of coming in late that are trying to race to the end. I think it'll stay alive for as long as it's up. It's not like something like a classic era server that eventually just can't field raids anymore because people have just sort of finished the content and moved on. But it ostensibly like stays up forever and it just kind of ends up dead. Have a great day, Miss Nutty. Why, thank you. Right back at you. Happy Sunday. I don't know who to be on. I don't know if cleaving is reasonable. Like Diablo 3 season's fun for a short time. Wanted this years ago. We've been talking, I feel like we've had conversations before about wanting something that gave that sort of Diablo season feel in WoW as well. I wanted like an alt leveling event that had that feeling where I didn't have to keep the, you know, with a volcano I could chuck them in at the end so I didn't have to keep them, and this is the closest thing they've ever come to making it. Mythic Plus is kind of like that. Yeah, I think that's fair. That's certainly how I play Mythic Plus Seasons, is very much for 3 weeks and then never again until the next one comes out. I think the thing that makes this really fun for me, on top of it being sort of like short term and busted, is just like the theme, you know? I'm having fun doing all of these things that feel very Pandaria. You know, I have my Pandaria themed hunter pets. I guess my Murloc outfit isn't very Pandaren, but like, you know, doing all the raids and the zones and the scenarios is just kind of feel like I'm at like a themed prom or something. I use macros sometimes. I don't have any that I don't think I'm using right now. Doing stuff in Pandaria is just super fun. Where'd my pets go? Oh, I think my pet got stuck. And it's dead. Doesn't really matter. Man, you get so much blue gear from normal raids. Whatever you're playing on is not under the streaming gear section. Oh yeah. It's a desktop computer. I've had it for a few years. The hardware in it's no longer current. It still works great. Gets the job done. But I don't think I have my PC posted anywhere right now. It's got a RTX 3080? Hang on. Yeah. My graphics card is a 3080. Just had to duck underneath the cables to read it. Wow, incredibly flexible at accommodating different levels of PC power in general. Still rocking a 970 overclock. Nice. Yeah, I hold on to my PC parts a lot longer than I used to. The only reason I have this one instead of the one that I built before that was just because this one was given to me by a sponsor. The other one still works great. I have it set up in my living room. I run games on it that are connected through my TV with a controller. That was my Pal World station for a while when I was really into Pal World. Media PC for the win. I use that one for Stardew, Hearthstone. It was Pal World for a bit, but oh, whoa! I fell! Don't mind me. I don't know. I set up on Hearthstone duos on it sometimes. Forgot about Pal World. I had so much fun on Pal World for like what, 2 weeks, something like that. When everybody else was playing it too. One day I'm going to get nostalgic for it, and I'm going to have another wonderful 2 weeks. Many people did. Hopefully you don't have the just in case gene. I do, and it makes getting rid of old PC parts hard. A little bit, especially with computers, because it's happened to me before that like a PC would break down or have a problem, and if it takes like weeks to get it fixed, and I'm streaming for a living, that's like a big problem. And I had that when I was first starting out. So it's not so much that I keep like extraneous parts, although I do have a couple of extra hard drives and whatnot. It's that if I have a backup computer, I'm not getting rid of it unless there's like another one. Like there's going to be backup PCs around as long as I have them. That if this computer decided it didn't want to turn on one morning, it would take me a while. I might have to miss like a stream, but I could move that living room PC over here and I could run the stream off of it just fine. Need a backup for the backup. But for a long time, my only YouTube short was a video of me that just happened to be under a minute. There where I was like, man, my computer's not working. I'm really sorry. I'll be back as soon as I can get it fixed. I don't know what's wrong with it. To be fair, it was very frustrating. I don't know why I haven't deleted that. I guess just because every now and then someone's like, man, I got recommended this and I enjoyed it. All right. Far be it from me to figure out why. Turned out the cord got unplugged from the wall. No, that one I think I didn't get it sorted until I replaced my motherboard. That was an ugly repair. I had to really get in there. And I was so mad because I had done so many things before I got to the motherboard. Like I did the power supply, I did the graphics card. Like I had different graphics cards that I swapped around. I tried a bunch of stuff. Although I have had a few PC builds where like it wouldn't turn on and I freaked out before I realized I just had like the switch off on the motherboard or whatever. Or no, the cable, there's an extra power cable on the motherboard that like without fail, this is I think a rite of passage for a lot of people. I would just forget to connect it and then I would be like, it doesn't work. And then you like Google it and people are like, did you connect the power? Oh, whoops. Don't mind me. But that's always great news because that's a very easy fix. Forgetting to flip the switch in the power supply and freaking out for like 30 seconds. I've done that too. I'd say I miss building PCs, but I don't know. It's hard on your fingertips. It always tore up my fingers and nails. I never ever got to the end of a PC build without paying the blood price. I think the part about it that I liked was just shopping. Shopping and then the feeling when it turns on and you're like, yeah, that's right. It works. I did the Lego correctly. I know I'll find a way to screw it up. It's scary because it's expensive. Some of those parts are very expensive if you break them, and some of them are a bit delicate. Waiting for the rest of the parts for my PC to arrive this week, and then I get to build my first PC. Nice. It's such a good feeling when you do it, though. I have a picture of, I think, 19-year-old me sitting on the floor of my mother's condo next to the first PC I ever built. And I'm just so proud of myself. I'm just like, look, I did it. Oh, I did it. And in hindsight, it was like wild that I did. I was learning everything from scratch, and I was learning it all by just like Googling and asking other people that didn't necessarily know either. It was a bit of a mess, but it came together. Kiwi, I don't know what happened to you, but I'm sorry. I'll fix you. Whoa, snails. I remember when I had my first computer that kind of sort of belonged to me. My mother helped me buy it when I was going to school. It was like an Acer tower from Staples. It had a graphics card in it, technically. It had better than integrated graphics, but the graphics card it had was like one of the most basic and cheapest ones that it could have possibly done. And the rest of the thing was very much kind of like extremely entry-level OEM parts that were not, you know, very compatible with upgrades and stuff. It was kind of your typical off-the-shelf rig. And it worked fine for me for a while. I used it for a few years. I used it in school, technically, a little bit. And then, and I would like play Mop on it, I guess. But I reached a point where I was like, man, my frame rate sucks. My performance is awful. I can barely run the game on this thing. Like, I'm getting lagged out in cities and stuff. I want to upgrade it, and I like Googled it, and I'm like, okay, I need a better graphics card. So there was like a little computer part shop across the street, and I didn't know anything. And I go in and I'm like, I need a better graphics card, and they're like, why? And I'm like, to play World of Warcraft. And they're like, okay, well, do you know what kind of power supply you have? And I'm like, no. Is that important? And they're like, yes. Yes, it is. So that was the beginning. Bless them for asking those questions, though, because they could have just as easily sold me something that I couldn't have used. I think at that point I'd already bought something and then found out that I couldn't use it and then had to return it because the first shop that I went to did not do that diligence. Everybody starts somewhere. Me has computer, you make me's computer working. Learned that the hard way this year. I don't even think I pressed cooldowns in on that one. I think Bestial Wrath went unused. I have 55,059 threads in my cloak. It's more than some people, and it's less than a lot of others. I haven't been, like, gaming all day every day, but I've been, for the last week, I would say, at least doing the tour of, like, my world bosses, kills, and dailies. Yeah, I like PC Part Picker a lot as well. I'm stuck. I don't understand. I don't really know what's going on. I've been doing all 770 done so far. Very nice. Have you tried leveling alts with heroic dungeons? A little bit. I only have 270s. This was the second one. I have a third one that I started, but I've been slacking because I've been having too much fun playing my main. And here we go. I feel like the Marks Hunter was like answering a text or something. I'm using a weak aura to check my thread number, and the Narcissus add-on can also do it. When you mouse over the hourglass here, I can see my 55k. Does this make you want to main a hunter in War Within? Nah, I gotta be a priest. Gotta be a priest. I can't leave Inksy behind like that. I do think Squidgy might edge out my other hunters to be like my War Within alt hunter though. Because I've really come to love her. And her pets. Huey, Hilda, Harold. You know. Clean my keyboard or buy a new one. WQ finally going out. Yeah, I mean it's a pretty easy thing to clean to see if that's the problem, but sometimes it's time. Uchi, go to jail. Go directly to jail. Or to bed or take a bath or something, I don't know. That one was so much. All gnomes, no problem. I have a problem where I don't always know which bosses are bosses. Got my second level 70, ended with about 100k bronze. Yes. Again, I swear they're just like texting someone or like ordering Taco Bell or something. And then they're gonna like wander over and be like, oh yeah, we're fighting a boss! And then they're gonna like kill it in 10 seconds. Because of their item level. What class is your third remix tune? She's a mage. I made a Pandaren mage. But at some point in the event, I also want to like level a couple more characters. Molly Wobble. Maybe a few randomizer alts. What if I hit the randomizer until it gives me a race that I need heritage armor on? That's not a bad idea. I don't know how to do this fight, by the way, so I'm just like tunneling. And my fingers are getting tired. Give me buffs. Watching it give you Worgen on your first go. I do still have boy, yeah. Alrighty. Holy carpal tunnel, Batman. How many bosses are left? Oh, a bunch of them. I guess just 4. How long do you usually take to film your weekly YouTube videos? Recording them usually takes about 30 minutes. But before that, you know, you're doing like notes and research and figuring out the layout of it and whatnot. Everyone remember to do hand stretches before raid. It depends on how long the final video is. But I usually end up with 3 times as much footage as I use, because it takes me forever to spit out a sentence. Do you rehearse before recording? No, I figure it out as I go along. I feel like I have to say the sentences, and if I rehearse it, I get too fast. Like if I get too good at figuring out what I want to say, I'll spit it out in like 8 seconds, and it'll come out like I'm running an auction. It helps if I'm still kind of thinking about it as I say it. Yeah, I edit them myself. I usually do about an hour and a half to 2 hours on research and layout. 30 minutes on recording. Another hour to hour and a half looking for footage, if there's supplementary footage, and gathering screenshots and whatnot. And then about 2 hours on editing. And then maybe another like 30 minutes doing like thumbnail and metadata and whatnot. I've been late lately, but I did get it out. Oh, I'm glad you think it's streamlined. It feels awful to me, but... Oh, I have to revive my pet. I've been doing those news videos for over 10 years. In large part due to having lowered my standards a bit. I think if I stuck to my guns and how good I feel like they should be, I would have quit doing them a long time ago because it just wasn't realistic. Oh, the boss died. Clearly I don't understand what's going on there. Or the hunter came back and just ended it before I realized that we weren't still fighting trash. Oh dear. Where did you get that outfit? This was a Blizzard used to sell these in the Gear Store. This one was a gift a long time ago. Do you think Blizzard will ever make it so cloak power is transferred 100% to alts? No. I think what we got now is what we got for that. Wasn't expecting raids to matter so much in Remix. Should be doing Siege normal every day. Not sure how I feel about it. It's a lot of... I mean, I kind of go back and forth on it. I don't do them all every day. Even though I feel like I should. Just because for me, that's where the line of I don't want to do this coincides with the line of this gives good rewards. It's always kind of a calculation. And raids I feel like can be boring enough that I just don't want to bother. But the more damage I do, the more fun I have in them. Because as soon as I feel like I'm doing this... which I'm not yet, but if I feel like I get there, I feel like then it's going to be way more fun for me to do raids. And I am slowly getting there. Like in the normals I was doing, I was feeling like I was actually contributing, which was fun. After this one, I'm going to take a short break, like after this raid. And then Flabby wants to try a heroic raid. And I'll go if Flabby's in the group. That's the rule. Once you get past 400, you start wanting to do raids because they go really fast. Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of hoping for that. Okie dokie. flabby. I mean, I still might die to stuff, but I do have more stam than I did last time. I have almost twice as much health as I had the last time I went in. It's still not as much as, like, the really geared people will have, but it's better. No, we won't keep our cloak stats at the end of the event. The cloak is very much an event-specific buff. We're not keeping our gems either. No, you don't get to keep the XP buff either. None of it. Once the event is over, these will become regular Dragonflight characters. How much total bronze have you collected? I don't know. I've been upgrading my gear. I spend it every time I get enough to do a gear upgrade, so I don't have like a running tally. I might need a snack for heroic raid. I'm a little hungry. I slept in so much I did just a little peanut butter toast for breakfast before stream. Snack scores. I have a lot of fruit right now. I'm still eating through the expensive grapes. I forgot I had them for a few days, but I remembered. And they're grapes, so they last a decent while in the fridge. They used to sell these Murloc onesies in the Blizzard Gear store. I don't think they have done for a while. I've had this for a number of years, too. I want to say 7. Do you make a little backstory for your alts? I used to. Neck rings and trinkets come from achievements. If you look through your remix achievements, you'll see the ones that you still need. Neck is from doing all the raids on normal. 1 ring is from doing all the dungeons on heroic. 1 ring is from doing all the scenarios in heroic. 1 trinket is just from hitting 70, and then 1 trinket is for escalation, which you can do with like a couple of scenarios and. Couple scenarios, really. How's your cloak looking? 55k. Splurged on cherries last night. Very nice. Yeah, I got 55k threads. It's okay. It's fine. I'm doing better than I was. Doing this throne has been good for bronze. I am reluctant to admit it's true. Lei Shen time? Lei Shen time. I don't know what's going on in this fight in the slightest. Pain. And panic. Reporting for duty. I've got some weak rows tracking my bronze and my threads for the session. I don't have a link to them. I just googled remix bronze weak aura, remix threads weak aura. Bacon is the author of both of them. I cannot disengage over that apparently. My trouble with them is that my sessions seem to reset even when I'm not intending them to. Is your cloak amazing and Technicolor? Oh man. I had that on VHS as a child. What a wacky piece of media. Beta's not completely open, but if you pre-order the Epic Edition of War Within, or if you upgrade to it, that'll get you into beta. On June 5th. Which is soon. Yeah, Epic Edition gets access to beta. Presumably you could purchase it during the beta and then get into the beta. And I don't think it's the only way to get into beta. I think you could still sign up to potentially be allowed in. Yeah. There we go. And some threads. Thanks, guys. Alright. Let's go spend some of this bronze. I'll take a break, and then I'll figure out what kind of a heroic raid we're going to get into. There's another boss? I don't know, everybody's leaving. Everybody's leaving. It was a normal, it was not a heroic. Yeah. No, it was not heroic. I'm going to scrap some gear. Let's see. What do the stats say, boss? What question are you asking the stats? Oh, 10k per hour. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like we got approximately 10k bronze from Throne, and it looks like it took us approximately an hour. Maybe a little under. Somewhere in that range. Gloves. I need tinker slots now because I did my helmet and my weapon already. Belt. Ah, no, not quite enough. Not quite enough bronze to get it to 430. Alright, that puts me at 393. I'm going to take a short break. I'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Alice, thank you for the 44-month resub. The Murloc outfit needed for my Blood Elf Paladin. In-game shop, unfortunately. The belt, the floaty is trading post, but the actual Murloc onesie in the on the character is in-game shop. Yeah, heroic does give more bronze than normal. We're gonna do Mogashan Vaults, and then maybe Heart of Fear. Let's go. I haven't done a heroic MSV yet. Oh, we got in. Nice. Flabby's not like fully kitted, but he's quite good. He does lots of damage. That should help. Also, I have a bowl of strawberries. I have a bowl of strawberry pieces. Yeah. I'm real lucky. You think Lei Shen is more obnoxious than Spoils? I agree that Galacross. I would say Galacross, and then Spoils, and maybe then Lei Shen. Did you bring enough to share with the rest of chat? I got a pretty big bowl, and it's all for me. Hi. Hey, Scarlet. Spoils is fun. Yeah. Everybody gets their opinions. I have Tic Tacs. What is your go-to flavor for Tic Tacs? Oh, dear Lord. Cherry Coke Tic Tacs? Are you messing with me? I haven't got Tic Tacs in a long time. Although sometimes I see them in the grocery store checkout aisle and I'm like, do I want to relive my youth? Is it worth however many dollars they want for these now for me to relive my youth? I'm not messing with you. Look it up. I don't want to. I'm scared. They're not scary, I can assure you. When I was a Tic Tac enjoyer in my youth, I was all about orange Tic Tacs, #1. And then later on when I got older and I started to worry what people might think about my breath, then it was about the mint Tic Tacs. They came to my college campus and had a whole thing set up. You could take pictures in a giant Tic Tac box. That's kind of genius. I bet that worked. It's pretty funny. I would do that. Oh, I'm helping. These are strawberries. Oh, that was a boss. Oh, nice. I'm down here with my 700k. That's funny. That paladin did 12 mil. And they're not even fully geared. Excuse me? You should be able to get into normal in whatever item level because people do it even before reaching endgame. If you're having a hard time, you can list a group and see, like, you don't have to do any leading really, just... I was doing that for a hot minute. Ah, yes, epics. I'll just hold them all in my bags and I'll go through them later and see if any of them are upgrades for me. Trying to figure out what orange TikToks were. What? Did I just... I just lost my footing. But I'm sitting in a chair. I'm not even standing on my feet. I don't know how that even happened. I don't even understand what happened. I think I tried to, like, push back with my feet. I don't know. It is not my day for the brain cell. Maybe my brain thinks that I have murloc feet. How do you trip when you're sitting down? Okay, now this is the group to be in. This is heroic MSV, by the way. I have legit fallen over while sitting down. Don't feel bad. I have a hard time feeling like no matter how I adjust my chair, I feel like I'm not chill enough to just sit in it normally with my feet like on the floor in an ergonomic way. At the very least, I have to tuck my feet back underneath the chair and like hook them over the bottom thingy where the wheel's attached to. And that's like when I'm being good and not like crossing my legs. They have the fetch ability so your pets can loot for you. They sell that in Play Dead. Yeah, I don't know why they made a point to have those. I have used to use an elevated desk footrest. I didn't end up sticking with it. It was hard on my knees. I've tried those. I just like, there's no reason why my body shouldn't be able to sit perfectly normally on a chair. I just get itchy. How do you get in these groups? My friend applied and he has more item level than me. Fluby's got some... Fluby's... Oh, did he take off his... No. Why are you only 350? That doesn't make any sense. I don't know. There's something going on. I watched that new documentary that Netflix got about the cult that is also a TikTok dancer management company. It's like a 3-episode series that came out somewhat recently. And it caught my eye and I watched it. And it's obviously like spooky and awful and like not something that you want anybody that you love to get involved with. But when they were talking about like getting out of the cult and like deprogramming and learning how to do everything for yourself after someone's controlled your life, when you used to have somebody that like told you where to live and what you were going to eat and when you were going to work and etc. and like made all those decisions for you, there was a tiny broken part of my brain that meant, man, that sounds kind of nice. I mean, it's not worth losing years of your life and all of this abuse and all of this like them taking all of your income and everything like that, but yeah, that's a combination. Epitome of silver liningness. Mm-hmm. Oh, someone in the raid is talking about wanting to get the Claw of Eternus title. And they said something along the lines of, I can't be on every day, but I saw the title and I nearly died. It's so cool. Like, they're just so excited to be working on that. That's cool. Good title for Feral Guardian Druids. I don't know why I'm pressing on my cooldowns like it's gonna matter. I'm helping. I'm Smelly Squidgy from the Frog Safety Team, and I contributed. I did 1 million damage too. It just doesn't matter. That's funny. Good threads as well. The White Claw of Eternus missed marketing opportunity. Oh, good grief. TikTok made me want to make enough money to hire a personal chef. Sometimes I'll watch YouTube videos about people living in very, very small places. Like a Hong Kong apartment that's been subdivided into like 14 units that are basically a bunk bed and whatnot. Which is no way for anybody to live. Or like the super tiny small apartments of somebody living in like Manhattan in like 400 square feet or 350 square feet or whatever. And how they like set it up and use the space to make it work. And I also think that's not, I wouldn't say that I aspire to that, but I do find that watching content like that makes me feel better about the space that I have. You know, it makes it makes my apartment feel cavernous and luxurious, and like I don't really ever need any more than this because like for what, right? At a certain point you just have more space to put more stuff in that you don't need. Hazel, what's up, Buttercup? I nearly finished a TV show today. What did you try to watch? House of the Dragon. Oh, I haven't tried that one. And I probably won't, but I'm sure some people in chat might be, so try and avoid spoilers, although of course you would anyway, but I read the summary and it seemed like it was going to be too upsetting for me. I saw like a list of trigger warnings and I went, you know what? I'm just going to let that one pass me right by. I'm sure it's good, but much faster than Game of Thrones. Found that disorienting. Targaryen heavy. That does make sense. Hence the name. Checks out. Tracks. Cool. Thanks for the carry. Let's get out of here and maybe take a look at this gear to see if any of it is worth putting on. I did a hero upgrade without dying. People were blowing it up so fast that I don't think any of the mechanics were happening. Those are heavy avoidance. This is heavy leech. I don't need that. Or that. Or those. I've got a good epic bow already. My bow's got crit on it, which I'm happy about. That is strong mastery and a little bit of speed on an epic helmet. I have strong crit. I don't think I need the speed, and I think that... Well, yeah, I think that my crit's better than mastery. What is this? Strong Versa, low avoidance, strong haste with a bit of leech. That actually is an upgrade because I had haste anyway, so this is just like bonus leech. I can wear those. This is strong leech with a little bit of crit. I can't use that. Strong haste with a little bit of Versa. I can use those. Okay. So I'm gonna... yeah. Yes, please. I need a little bit of time to work on my gear. So I'm gonna start by taking off my pants and my bracers. Don't mind squidgy. I'm gonna scrap all of it just as an easy way to get my gems back. And also because I don't need those anymore. You gotta be very careful doing this to make sure you don't scrap like your only pants. And then I'm gonna put pants back on. And then I had haste in those. I had perfect quick topaz. Those are bronze caches. These guys. And then for the bracers, we had these 3 gems, which makes sense because they're the only ones I'm holding on to. Also, greater spool. And now I need to go catch up the item level and then fix my transmog. But that's 2 more epics on. I would still replace some of these things if I would replace haste Versa if I got like haste crit or haste mastery or something like that. Just like I would replace haste leech for like if it had 2 good secondaries, but still. Oh sure, yeah. Send it. Okay, so that puts me at 394. I have 3,700 left. And my stuff is between 416 and 430, so I'm still kind of going through my 416s to see this would be next. Yeah, there we go. That puts me up to 395. Fix my transmog, and then I should be okie dokie to look for Heart of Fear. Deja character stats is giving me more detail in my stat window. Amazing how quick bronze goes. But I'm getting closer and closer to 400. I'm excited about that. Oh, we got in. Alright, I'm heading over there even though we might get summoned. And the siege bosses stop yapping. It's so annoying. It's extra because you do them every day, or some people have been doing them every day, which means that it's not like a once a week kind of thing. You're literally hearing the same speech on the daily. Yeah, if you level a new character to 70, they'll get 40k bronze. It's one quest for 3k, one quest for 7k, and one quest for 30k, and then all together those add up. There's a couple of mages. And a pal. Do paladins get lust? Paladins get battle res, not lust. But I think we probably have some real pumpers in this group. Whoa! Oh, that was just Flooby. Flooby did 12 mil damage. Thanks, Flooby. 133 bronze on the house. What are toes? Oh, that's flabby too. What are toes? And don't just say those little nubby things at the end of my feet. Oh, terrace. Oh, okay. I can't do terrace. I'm already locked into it. I did my normal. I didn't think that today was my heroic day. We'll stay back and kill it clone. Okay. Sorry, Hilda. Strong avoidance, low crit. You gotta get really lucky to get epics that have good stats. I saw Toe's speedrun listed the other day. It was silly. Efficiency of leveling new alts for bronze versus the daily stuff. Oopsies. I'll be right there. I feel like it's debatable. It kind of depends on how fast you're doing daily stuff versus how fast you can level alts. There's people that are like harrying their own alts via a twinked trial account and using like raids in heroic dungeons to get an alt to 70 in like 2 hours. And that's probably faster because that would be like 50 or 60k bronze at a minimum. That's probably faster than dailies, but some people are doing dailies very quickly, especially if you're like really geared and you're doing like heroic raids and whatnot. I think both methods are valid. I don't know which one's faster. Yeah, trial accounts are capped at level 20, which makes them really good for twinking, because that's a particularly juicy level for scaling. You'll see holy priests at level 20 that have really kitted out cloaks because they've just been stuck at 20, powering up their cloaks, but retaining that good level that you want to have for scaling. They'll just run heroic dungeons and do them in like under 5 minutes each. Apparently, Throne gives more bronze than Siege. I did not know that. Oh, look at me on the meters. I'm helping. We did like 5 mil somehow. Maybe it was because of the cleave. Also, apparently I got a transmog for that helmet. I didn't have that mog yet. I mean, it's no 30 mil damage. You'll get there. Maybe. I don't know. I've spent a lot of years trying to catch up to Flabby. I haven't found it to be something that's very possible yet. Big Fire, thank you for the 55-month resubs. 55-month resub of 2 mines of upgrading the gear. You're up to 430, but I think I'll stop. Need to start buying transmog. Yeah, 430. You're doing huge damage. Totally up to you. Is that the Flooby? Flooby the Fabulous from the Frog Safety Team? Just able to get my time running character into Ratchet. Like the Goblin Town? Huh. Neat, neat. Ow. Ow. That does it. I'm setting my heart to Lion's Landing. I'm coming. we did Heroic MSV already. If we were going to do another one after this one, it would just be Siege, but like, woof. Shadow Snake, thanks for the 7-month resub. Appreciate it. Do you think Remix is going to have a pretty big impact in retail? Because I'm going to miss it. No. But, you know, what do I know? I don't know anything. I was talking about this earlier in the stream. I think a lot of the things that make Remix fun are fun because it's temporary, and that when transposed into a more long-term format, they would just be annoying. Or they would lose their shine. I think that being a limited time event is part of what makes Remix work. Shadow Snake, thanks for the brand new sub. Again. Oh, converting from a Prime to a tier sub. I see, I see. And I thank you. So, I can't do toast because I did it already, but my Hearthstone's up in 18 seconds. We can go spend some more bronze. Strawberry Jimmy. Yeah, I bet they'll do more remixes in the future. I think this has been a phenomenal proof of concept. Are any of these epics that I got worth putting on? No. Strong stat mastery with a little speed. Yeah. Nah. If it was like critter haste and speed, then maybe. But I got haste gloves on already. And those are strong stat avoidance, so I think we're scrapping all this. That was pretty fast bronze though. I should see if Flappy wants to do that every day. Yeah, Heroic Fear MSV and then Toes, I'm sure. You know, on a day that you hadn't done it already. So I was bumping other stuff up to 4:30. Is everything? No, my chest needs doing. Yeah, 20 minutes. I could go a little over. We might try to do Siege. I wonder if I can get enough to upgrade my boots. I'm so close to 400. It's a lot easier if you combine the gems before we try and scrap them. Just do one heroic throne and then never go back. Yeah, something like that. Eventually. I was just happy to make it through a normal throne today. There we go. That's enough bronze to do boots. Perfect. I'm going a little over today. I'm going to stream a little late. I just really want to get this raid because I think it's going to be such good bronze. It's going to kind of put me ahead, so I can maybe try and get to... I want to get to fully geared in a week and not 10 days, which means I need to kind of start to pick up my pace a little bit here. I'm going to have Hilda out for the extra health, I think. Oh yeah, you can totally do the neck on like the Heart of Azeroth. Or you could do the cloak on like a neck piece instead of Heart of Azeroth. But there's nothing that says you couldn't just copy paste the mop system. You know, like it doesn't have to have anything to do with the actual gear we had during that expansion, because you're not using the actual gear you had during that expansion. Alright, so just for math's sake, posterity, we're starting this at about 12:45. This heroic siege, which is presumably filled with people that can do big damage, that are not me. I'm kind of expecting like 45 minutes optimistically. In-game timer? Yeah. It is a lot of bosses, that is true. But it's got Flabby in it. They've got Flooby the Fabulous. Look at all the life storms. Oh no, those are dead. I saved a few cooldowns for the second time it came out because I figured people wouldn't have as many of them. For all that it matters. Yeah, I am not the carry. I am in the backpack. I'll just be happy if we can get through it without any wipes. That is an avoidance bow. Do not need. Lion's Landing Hearth is muddy. Got one of the remix only bows, I think. I didn't get the appearance. I must have had it already. It is a pretty cool appearance. I'm sitting here cowering by my my tenacity pet for my extra 8% max health. It does put me above 2 mil. We did something. seems dangerous. I'm just gonna turtle. I'm scared. There we go. Only a little spooky. Ooh, 2 epics. The legs have strong avoidance and low crit, and the helmet has strong leech and low versa. Your pet's straight from a Bug's Life movie. Used to watch that as a kid like 10 times a week. There he is. The nice thing about this is that it should give us another 4 bones if we can get all the way through it, which is just a matter of patience. You know, 1 boss at a time. But that would put me up to 10 bones of Manoroth, which is halfway towards Tusks. I'm not gonna blow the bronze needed for them yet, even if I do get all the bones for it. But I'm assuming at the end of the event, I'm gonna farm more bronze, because I'm gonna be all geared and I'm gonna want to flex. I don't know if they fixed it. I'm assuming by the time that I get 20 bones, they will have fixed it, because they did announce intent to fix it. I feel like I watched one of those fireworks displays where they accidentally shoot them all off at once. Yeah, I'm sure they'll get there before I get caught up to it. You should also consider Heroic Siege. Where do you think I am? It is difficult to tell nowadays at a glance what difficulty something is because the mouse over thing doesn't work. I need to switch headphones. Mine are about to die. Closet of Eternal Mystery. Yeah, it's got a bunch of headphones charging, camera batteries, a couple of wigs. You know, the usual. A sewing machine. Oh, so many gems. I remember getting gems while I was leveling my first character thinking I'd never have enough for like an epic one. This is one of the things that wiped me last time. It's just a lot of damage. The golden orb looks like a good thing, but I don't know what it does, so I'm afraid to touch it. I'm turtling. Very afraid. I might still die. I'm using my tiny little health potion. Oh no! I was so close! I almost made it! This is heroic. We're creeping up on 60k threads. We're up to 57.8. This is another area where I feel like I should just hang back. I'm not gonna do any meaningful damage and I'm just gonna get myself killed in there. I use the Curse Forge add-on manager. Finally have my work desk set up, Ethernet RAM, peripherals hooked up. Room, good to go. Dies. Are you gonna decorate at some point? You got like art you put up or something? Glow in the dark. What did I just say to myself? Glow in the dark stickers of stars you can put on your ceiling. Cause I still kind of want those a little bit. I haven't done them, but if I think about it for another 5 years, I might. Glow in the dark stars went up first. There you go. That's the Jans I know. Oh, how do I get them out? I thought you just clicked them. Oh, you have to stand on the thingies, that's right. I remember it a little bit. Not over there. Should we do it? Someone else gonna do it. Can I help? I feel like I'm trying my hardest, and I should be not far from the bottom of this meter if the bottom is like 1.6 mil. But where was I? 800k. Alright. Half of what the bottom of the meter was. Never mind. There's the boss after Lei Shen and Throne of Thunder. Did not know Rodden was there in Heroic. Yeah, I haven't done Heroic's Throne yet. I haven't seen that. Those are Mastery, Strong Stat Mastery, Low Stat Verse. I have Epic Racers already. Good bronze though. Maybe all the Pandaria bosses are Misbehaving and the squirt guns try to teach them no bad. Squirt gun of death. Started playing remix. There are indeed a lot of things. If I look at all the things while I'm waiting, and I look at remix, I think right now I'm on account mode, so in all armor types. I have 57.5% of available remix things collected, including not remix exclusives, just like old pieces of transmog and stuff. And at some point I want to get that up to 100, but I haven't been buying cosmetics in like a week. I've been upgrading my gear. I do have all the remix mounts. I hate Spoils of Pandaria so much. Yeah, it's not my favorite. I was just checking my nails to see if they need redoing so I'd have something to do during Galacrass. They look alright though. Love how many mounts they put in for remix. I like the little Red Riding Goat, and I like the Astral Emperor Serpent. And the Phoenix, actually. The August Phoenix is really pretty too. I'm glad that there's at least a few that are a little more exciting than just the recolors. 2 nails make tea. I did blue nails in one hand and then like kind of like a coral pink nails in the other hand, so it's kind of like a... In my brain, you know how taps are sometimes labeled and one is hot water and one is cold water? I have a hot hand and a cold hand. It makes sense in my brain. You match your murloc. Mop Remix and all the things is under World Events. World Event Remix. Hello Hazel, how are you today? Hello Jack Van Smith. I'm doing well, how are you? Sundays are my Friday afternoon because I take Monday, Tuesdays off. I'm cozy. I slept in a bit by accident today. Oops. I guess I gotta unironically get some water. Hang on. My cat's found a place to like nap behind my streaming desk, but unfortunately my streaming lights are kind of pointed in that direction because I bounce them off a wall so that it's not like super direct light in my eyes. So she's kind of like napping in a spotlight with both of her paws like covering her eyes. Thoughts on vanilla WoW? Thoughts? I think I need something more specific if I'm gonna give anything useful. It is where WoW came from. I like Vanilla Hunter. That's something. I like playing Hunters whenever I play a classic. Thoughts on Vanilla Ice. Hope you're having a great day. Oh, thanks. Oh, there's a movement calling for fresh vanilla servers to be released. I think that is... I don't think I get an opinion because I didn't really play regular vanilla. original or re-released, and I wouldn't play it if they re-released it again, so I think my opinion is of no consequence to that discussion. It's just not my thing. It's like asking me if I think they should cancel baseball. I don't know, probably not. I wouldn't notice. Thoughts on vanilla pudding? Good, but not as good as other types of pudding like rice pudding or butterscotch pudding. Rice pudding is a comfort snack, is a comfort like dessert for me. Whenever I'm feeling particularly sorry for myself is usually when I'll pick up one of those little tubs of like the Cozy Shack rice pudding, and then I'll have that around. I used to make rice pudding, but I don't know, I think the milk's too expensive now. Also, I would invariably burn it onto the bottom of the pot that I was cooking it in. Yeah, they do sell rice pudding in the States. I'm Canadian, though. It's different. Banana pudding sounds upsetting. I don't know that I've had it, but I don't like those two words together for some reason. Hazel, you didn't burn the rice pudding. It didn't happen. Oh, but it did. It super did. Banana pudding with vanilla wafers. You ever freeze bananas and then like blend them up after they're frozen? That's quite good. If you're like looking for like a frozen dessert kind of thing and you have bananas and you don't have or want to purchase or consume ice cream for any reason, it's like, it's pretty yummy. I haven't done it in a long time though. I guess the nice thing about this boss compared to Siege is that you can, unless you're being productive and actually helping, you can functionally get away with being pretty AFK. Oh my goodness, I wasn't sure if that person in that Mog was Flibby, and it is. Next time I get a chance, I need to zoom in on the Mog and check it out. Look at all the life storm! Does it all stack? It looks like it. It looks like you can get just nutty amounts of haste by getting in a ton of them. I should switch to Lifestorm. It's not like I'm really getting a lot of value out of my funeral pyre. Besides, it looks trendy. I don't want to be left out. I don't want the new cool thing to get away without me. Who am I if not with the times? what people like to say about me is I'm of the moment. Very current. Searing Light. What does Searing Light do? 10% of healing collected on allies. Consume to heal them and inflict holy damage. Oh. I bet you we break 60k threads before the end of this siege. We're getting them pretty fast. And we're going. Up to 450% XP gain because all I've been doing is LFR. You should do a couple heroic dungeons with that much. I bet that would you'd get finished real quick. I'm only doing 700k damage. I want to do more damage. We need more upgrades. We need more threads. Also, I need to remember to do the rest of my world bosses. I still need to do Galleon, Celestials, and Ordos for threads. Although I guess by the end of the stream, I'm already over time, so I think I'm gonna be in here for a while longer. So maybe by the end of the stream, I'm gonna be kind of out of time. I just want to make sure I do it today. If y'all stack in a wall, all the life storm goes in one place. Everyone gets a bunch of haste. Just upgraded my first piece to 500. I'm close. Don't give up. Nice. Yeah, I only recently cleared 400 on my pieces. I'm nothing if not persistent. Yeah, Throne of Thunder's open. I'm just really enjoying my guild name. And being in a guild and having a half cooldown Hearthstone's pretty nice. Hearthstone's always on cooldown because it's 30 minutes. You can join, like, any guild. They don't have to be a remix guild. But it's kind of fun. Slow to upgrade gear without the frog farm situation. I've been finding that just by doing my dailies and maybe a raid or two, I've been able to get all of my gear upgraded once per day. Pretty... I guess I don't want to say easy, because I am playing every day. I'm playing for a couple of hours every day. That's not nothing. That's a reasonable amount of engagement, but I don't know. I think getting all of the upgrade levels in the space of like I don't know, 3 weeks at that pace. It's not too bad. We're still not that far into Remix. Thing lasts for like 80 days. $77 days left. Mm-hmm. I think the progress pace feels pretty good once you're for me when I've been doing it. I was skeptical of it when I was just kind of looking at the raw numbers before I started, but once I actually got in there, it started to feel better. Yeah, don't mind me. I didn't hit them. I didn't hit them. It wasn't me. I'm running. We have enough left for all transmogs? Well, I'll need to farm more. That's the thing, is it's not like there's a cap to how much bronze you can farm. I'm excited. In another week or so, I should be fully upgraded, and then I'm excited to do more like raids and dailies, and I should be able to get the rest of the transmogs and whatnot then, because I have all the mounts already. That was easy. Relics, thank you for the 19-month resub. Been a few months since I left WoW. Still want to support your content. Your raid guides are the best. Aw. Shucks, thanks. I think it'll take me like a week to 10 days to get fully geared. And then I think it's going to take me maybe another 2 weeks tops after that to get the rest of the transmog. If I'm playing at the same pace. I think 2 weeks is like an overestimate because of how fast we'll be able to get bronze when I'm fully geared. My pets died. I'm not planning any remix raid guides. I'm pretty sure you're kidding, but I don't have any planned. Kind of like farming Pandaria in modern retail, but with a group. It's fun. Yeah, and with like almost 200% run speed on my hunter. Yeah, it's flappy. I think he really likes Remix. Wouldn't you think it would be cool if we got a murloc class? Oh, a music class. That would be neat. DH is pretty broken with gear. I wonder if Lifestorm meta becomes a thing, if people stop gemming haste. Or even getting it on their gear, because you get haste capped during the actual raid fight from all of that life storm. And then at that point you're just wasting that. Like you could have something else in your gear. That might be part of my problem. A few too many haste gems. Would love mole people or murlocs as a new race. Strong stat haste, low versa. Yeah, those are an upgrade actually. I'll set those aside, or try and remember to wear them later. June 3rd, 6 planets of the solar system will be visible all at once just before sunrise. A parade of planets. Pretty cool. Yeah, I just don't know at what point. Actually, I do know at what point. There was an add-on that was going to tell me. I think I'm officially getting a little fried. Something about this visual just like takes your brain and turns it into lightly seared toast. We are rocking a Murloc onesie. I slept in today and I was running late. And I was like, I need to put clothes on and I don't have any time to think. And I don't have any brain with which to think because I just woke up and nothing's going on up here. Murloc. I will say all this haste makes remix kind of hard in your fingers. I looked for a weak aura for that. Remix Bronze weak aura, Remix Threads weak aura, and then Bacon is the author of those things. We soak those, huh? I don't know if I knew that. Bacon. Sometimes you go for a walk at the right time around here, you'll smell people making breakfast. There's a lot of bacon and pancakes going around on Saturday and Sunday mornings. I'm like perma-stuck on 800k. I feel like I was doing more single target damage earlier. I don't know what I broke. Live next to a BBQ place and I'm always hungry thanks to the smells. Yeah, my crit right now is at 70%. My haste is at 70%, roughly. I'm sure it gets higher in combat. Mastery at 128. I think I've got a ways to go on my cloak before these stat caps really start applying to me. But I should probably start keeping an eye out for gear that has not haste and to some extent crit on it. Was farming throne in retail? The gastropod shell drop. There goes 50k plus saved in remix. Nice. I don't know if I have my murloc impression in me today. I'm a shell of a woman. Character portrait HP bar thick. I think just edit mode. I don't think I used any kind of different. I don't even know if edit mode let me change that. I could have sworn to you that was default. I don't think I changed anything. Is that Fluby? Who I think it is. Is that the Fluby? Oh, time for spoils. This may not be the most exciting thing you do in Remix, but it's great for bronze. It's not Ryan Gosling. How can you prove it's not Ryan Gosling? Do you know where Ryan is at this moment? Because what if? Could be Gwyneth Paltrow. Could be Batman. Right. I only have the Horde on mount for the expensive ones left. Running Siege right now for bronze. Nice. I think I'll do toys and expensive stuff at the very, very, very end of my farming. Because I think it's going to feel really good to rip through all the sets vendors and just buy like tons of sets. What do other races look like in this outfit? That's actually pretty good just because it makes it bigger. Yeah, I'm right there with you. If I do Siege once in a day on any difficulty, that's already me going above and beyond. That would take so long to do that much Siege. How are you, Hazel? Hello. I'm good. I'm glad that WoW's letting me embrace who I am on the inside. It's an enormous bovine with a water gun. Do those red things port you to the other side? I thought they were just soaks. Hang on a second. If I stand in this, will I go home? No, it went away. I don't know. I'm too disoriented to figure it out. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I'm wandering around a museum and I have no idea how I got here. Like I'm an alien that spawned in to take the place of a human. And I haven't quite downloaded the memories yet. Traveler's log filled up so fast doing remix. Yeah, it's nice that there's lots of stuff you can work on in remix. It was a great trading post this month. I feel like the floaty belt in particular is something I'm gonna enjoy for a long time. Yeah, I had like 1,000 bronze or 1,000 tender saved, and I used almost all of it. I hope we get next month a more serious trading post. I don't know if serious is the vibe of the trading post. Like, they do some neat, like some more serious mogs sometimes, but there's usually a few of those even among the other silly stuff. Maybe it's just my own personal bias, but I feel like silliness is kind of the central thesis of the thing. I think we've done it. We've survived. Gallicrass. And spoils. I guess the other half needs to finish too. Are they dead over there? Uh-oh. I'm gonna let somebody more capable than me use the chain to go help. Oh, there we go. It's done. Okay. Whew. A little spooky. This is heroic. Siege of Orgrimmar. Nice. Ooh, that's a nice helmet. That is a mastery crit helmet. I'm all over that. I had a blue one that just had crit. It's gonna take me all this bronze just to get a purple caught up. Oh, we're so close to 400 though. We can help. Sitting up straight. Kill ow. Ow. I was gonna say kill command muscles at the ready, but I gotta live first. So we've been in here for 50 minutes so far, and we've made it to Thog. And then it's just Siegecrafter, Paragons, and Garrosh, and then we're done. We haven't wiped on a boss yet, but we also haven't, we're not, like, smoking them as fast as we were the Mogashan bosses, for example. Jarden are just kind of worse Moku. I'm weirdly upset by not being able to do more than like 800k. I feel like if I'm pressing my buttons as hard as possible, you know, what gives? I thought I was doing more than this earlier. What did I break? The Garrosh heirlooms are available in Remix to buy off a vendor, if that's what you mean. But if that's not what you mean, then I don't know. Yeah, 700k. I don't know. Just a couple bosses left, though. I'm trading out some haste gems for some Versa gems. I think I'm getting haste capped. It's just a theory. I guess I'll be able to tell on Siegecrafter if that helped, because that'll be mainly single target. I can compare. wonder if Herd Paragons is going to be a problem for me. I think that's one of the ones I wiped on last time. We'll see. Alright. Let's see if we can do 900k. Well, we've used our funeral pyre. Good thing to remember. Let's do Wrath again. Yeah, I hope your keyboard's doing better. I think I can really feel the actual... now that the life storm is worn off, I think I can feel a haste reduction from my gems. I wonder if it's going to be a problem. Nah, I'm doing like 600k. I made it worse. Never mind. At least I still have the gems. They're easy enough to swap back. 58k threads. Thought I was doing okay with 12k. You are. You totally are. The thing I've learned about threads is that no matter how many you have, you're going to feel like it's never enough. Other people have more, and you need to keep grinding. I don't know if there's a number I'm going to get to where I'm like, finally, sufficiency. I want to say 100k, but I've just made that up. We're seeing a lot of mechanics here. Yeah, he gets his defense matrix. Yeah. Were we meant to be killing the laser turret? I feel like a mill health. I don't know. Alright, never mind. Couple of weapons. Doesn't look like people went on the belt. I did not go on the belt. I did not remember that that was a thing. Oh, Elemental Alls, thanks for giving out some gift subs. Appreciate it. Congrats to those who got them. I wonder if Paragons will be harder for us to mess up. What if I'm doing less damage because I'm in a bigger body with this Tauren morph and it's not as concentrated? You know, you need to look like a gnome for deadliness. Hello, Flauta. How are you doing? Happy Sunday. Hope your weekend's going well. Do you guys have fun or otherwise plans for the rest of your weekend? I guess it's Sunday afternoon. Weekend's basically over for a lot of people. Did you get up to anything cool? I don't think I have any appointments. I had errands for my last couple of Hazel weekends. I don't think I have any appointments for the next 2 days, so maybe if I'm lucky I'll get to sneak out and go fishing or something. My Storm Cheese is even more OP than Ward was. Killed Garrosh in 2 minutes and 37 seconds. Holy smokes. What difficulty was that on? P1 basically instantly got deleted. Heroic with 26 people. Nice. I have a feeling our Garrosh kill is not going to be in 2 minutes and 37 seconds. There's nothing sadder than scrolling down the meters to be like, hey, am I still down there? You doing alright down there, little bud? I'm helping, right? I guess you get a lot of people in a raid like this, so. If I was making excuses. Listen, next week we're gonna be really strong. We must never give up faith. One raid away from Clava Turnus. Yeah, I guess that is true, actually. I just need to do what? Toes? Tomorrow? Or next week or something? Heroic Toes? Can you believe it, guys? Oh, you were talking about you? Oh, congratulations in advance. If you leave at Galacraft, which is like 5.5 minutes, we were in boss combat for about 20 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty good. We're getting through this just fine, but I wouldn't say it's like a stomp. live streams are starting to come back up. What's this new Lifestorm tech? I think the trick is that lots of people have Lifestorm, and they all use it, and you stand in as many of them as you can. And if the room allows for it, as people say Garrosh's does, you position in a way that they all spawn stacked so that everybody can get all of them, and then you just have wild amounts of haste. I wonder if you also like delay Lust until after the buff falls off, just because it would be like wasted. Stacked. Also does big upfront damage. Clear off the Harbinger. 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 Or I guess just hit them. This is basically a target dummy simulator. Harborber. Or Charge. Alright. We're on one. There we go. Incredible. I am wearing a Murloc outfit. It's pretty cozy. These fleece onesies are quite warm. Toasty. Alright, one more boss. Galleon dropped 2 nights ago, so that's 38k bronze saved. Nice. Haven't done Vogishan Vaults for the day. 4 runs, here I come. May they be swift and speedy. Ah, Thrall. I like that he brings his messenger bag in with him. It's like later he's gonna stop by a coffee shop and pull out a laptop. Catch up on his emails. Got 20 green toenails, but I forgot to save bronze for the shoulders. Aw, that's the easy part though. You'll have it in no time. That's where he holds his cages for all the pet battling. What if he's just got it stocked with, like, he's got some hand sanitizer, he's got some lip balm, he's got some snacks, a little sunscreen in there. Just like the group mom kit. They edit with a 41-month resale, just 1 month away from the meaning of life. Thank you very much for sticking around with me that long. How many alts should one have? As many alts as one desires. Yeah, I'm on late today. I'm almost done. We just gotta finish this boss and then wrap it up. Stay on forever. I gotta eat lunch at some point. Yeah, well, there's phase 1 done. Oh look, I cracked a milk with all the life storms. I think we're gonna drop back down to a comfy 600k. We not lost it. I want to make all the hunters for the double heart. Oh, the humans and all the hunters for double hearthstones. Human hunters. Any tips, advice in finding a guild? You can check your server forums. You can check the group finder, like the guild finder, and browse listings to see if anybody sounds like a good fit for you. You can try to look for guild groups if you're pugging into content that you like to do. So if you like to do keys, look for existing guild groups that are just adding one. Same thing with raids. And then let them know that you're looking for a home. And hang in there. I've heard it's tough. It's worth it if you can find the right people, though. Kai Azurflare Gaming with a 15-month resub. Thank you very much. I'm so happy that we finished Siege. Feels good that it is over. It's great bronze. Plus, whoa. Plus, I'm sure at some point I'll go through all that gear and figure out which upgrades I want to be wearing and fix my gems and all that. Oh, so very close to 400 item level. I bet you next week that's where we'll be at. Sarville, thank you for the 17-month resub. Thanks, guys. I am wrapping up for the day. I am an hour over. I didn't have a lot of thoughts in my brain to begin with today, but we're all out. I appreciate the company a lot, guys. I'm gone for 2 days. 2 days to recharge. And I will be back next week starting Wednesday. There will be... I don't know what I'm going to stream. That is the first day the beta starts, so beta might be the trendy thing to stream, but it's going to be hard to get off Remix because I'm really addicted to Remix. Anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.